JH6, and I appreciate you guys watching. So I'm being asked the question of revolver versus semi-automatic, and I got to tell you guys, I like them both, and I know I have talked about this question or this debate many different times here in my channel. I got some videos on it, but you know, you guys continue to ask, so I asked one of my buddies, and this is what he has to say.
All right, thank you, brother. It's Uzi9 again. And personally, I love revolvers for their nostalgia and in a lot of ways because of their ergonomics. But I think this is one of those debates that you can't ever fully settle because it's just such a wash most of the time. To me, it's kind of like comparing a Les Paul and a Fender Strat. Like, which one is better? Well, it's going to depend on who's playing it, what they're playing, and you know, if the person's a really good player, it's not going to matter. It's going to sound good anyways. So what I want to do is just hit on some big topics, and again, most of this is just my opinion. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is capacity. Autos obviously dominate in capacity. Why? Because they have the ability to grow. So if your situation calls for more ammo, the auto is probably the better bet. I don't want to rehash the whole, you know, how many rounds is enough for self-defense discussion, but I do think it's unfair to scrutinize a revolver for being, you know, low capacity when there's a whole market of people who carry, you know, 6, 7, 8 shot pocket pistols or 1911s. You know, even Springfield's little 45 subcompact there, it only holds 5+1. So on a reload with a standard mag, you're now only picking up 5 rounds, whereas if I reload my my revolver, I'm picking up 6. So, you know, it's all kind of relative, so just keep that in mind. Ergonomically, I find that I can shoot an auto faster, generally because they have lighter triggers and because you can use a full thumbs forward grip, which helps to stabilize the gun. Now, that being said, I actually find that I can reload a revolver smoother, not necessarily faster, but more fluid than a semi-auto, just because the movements they're more linear and they're largely dominated by my strong hand. With a semi-auto, the process is easier, but I personally have to concentrate more because my hands are working in tandem and a lot of the bigger movements are being driven by my weak hand. The next thing I want to talk about is just ease of use. And again, it's kind of a wash on this one. A revolver, I find, is easier to pick up initially because it's very just point and shoot, and people seem to understand revolvers more because you can visually see how the gun operates. That being said, because they generally have heavier triggers and because the reload process is more complex, I find it's harder to get really good with a revolver. With a semi-auto, I think it's the opposite. You have to learn a lot out the gate. The initial learning curve is very high because there's potential for a lot of different switches and buttons, and you have to learn all the malfunction drills. So it's harder to get situated with a semi-auto initially. But once you know all those things, I think it's easier to get really good with one because, again, generally the triggers are going to be lighter and the reload process is simpler than a revolver. Last thing I want to talk about is power. Semi-autos obviously dominate in capacity, but I think revolvers dominate in power. Like, especially if you're looking for like a woods carry gun or maybe pistol hunting, you're better off with, you know, something like a 44 Magnum or like a 454 Casull. Just a comical observation about capacity. One of the reasons that I love revolvers is that the 357 Magnum is my favorite round, and caliber stereotypes make me laugh because if you carry a 9, if you carry a 45, you're some type of 1911 elitist or you're a FUD. And if you carry a 40, James Yeager is going to call you and tell you have a small penis. But none of us ever run our mouths about 357 Magnum because we all know it's such a good round. So I just want to throw that out there just because it makes me laugh. But this is a really big topic, and, you know, we're going really fast. There's all kinds of what ifs, but I just want to throw some of these ideas out for you. So I want to thank you for watching. I'm going to throw it back to JH6 now.
Alright, brother, I appreciate that. That was an excellent video, by the way. If you guys haven't subscribed to him, go ahead and subscribe. I'm going to put a link down below in the comments. Hopefully this clarify, or hopefully this give you an idea between the revolver and the pistol. We have a lot of new shooters out there that, you know, trying to debate which one is the best gun for conceal, which one is the best gun to purchase. So hopefully this was helpful. Again, guys, go ahead and subscribe to him. Like always, like, share, and subscribe. And God is in control.